When we're talking about estate planning, we need a lot more than just simply a will and possibly a trust. Another major component of it is what I'm calling healthcare documents, which is simply put, a healthcare power of attorney and an advance directive, sometimes called a living will. These are two separate legal documents that I think every single person should have, regardless of what your station is in life. First things first, the healthcare power of attorney. It's a document wherein you name a primary and a secondary person, in fact you can name as many people as you want, to make healthcare decisions for you if you are incapacitated. In other words, if you're not able to make those decisions for yourself. This is a very important document to have because you never know when you might get yourself in a medical situation where you're deemed incapacitated, whether that be something as extreme as a coma or something as less extreme, and maybe you're in surgery and they can't wake you up out of surgery to make a healthcare decision that's necessary for yourself. So this document only comes into play in those instances where you're incapacitated, so you cannot legally make a medical decision for yourself. You name a primary and then a secondary person at least to make those decisions for you. The most important part of this is being able to have a very open and honest conversation with whomever you nominate about what your healthcare needs, goals, desires, whichever are. And so, it ranges from people who want, to just send me out of the woods to die naturally, no intervention whatsoever, to throw everything at me. I want every single minute I possibly can have. In fact, nobody really holds those extreme, or very few people hold those extreme views. Almost everybody's in the middle. But it's so important that you have the conversation with your healthcare agents really, the primary and secondary choices for those roles, so that they can step into your shoes and help assist you in the way you would have wanted to be assisted, medically speaking. Also in my healthcare power of attorney, I include what's called a HIPAA release, and that simply allows whomever you've named to be able to have access to your medical records, which of course they need to be able to do if they're going to make competent healthcare decisions for you. The second legal document is an advance directive or a living will. This is more of an order to your doctor describing when you would like artificial life-sustaining measures to be taken on your behalf. It describes 3 different, very serious situations. Again, you need, just like the healthcare power of attorney, you need to be incapacitated before this will come into play. Otherwise, you're going to have the conversation directly with your doctor. The advance directive describes 3 situations, all very medically serious. One is you're unconscious and to a high degree of medical certainty you're not coming back. You're not going to regain consciousness. The second one is you have a serious illness that's going to result in your death in a relatively short amount of time. And the third one is advanced dementia, which is not losing your car keys. It's your body does not remember how to do the unconscious functions that it needs to in order to survive. You opt into any of those situations where you either do or do not want life-sustaining measures to be taken, artificial life-sustaining measures to be taken, which is simply a fancy way of saying life support. That's the major work of the document. And beyond that, you have an option whether or not you would like to have a feeding tube, whether you'd like hydration and nutrition, or one or the other. If you do opt for a feeding tube, you can opt out of getting a feeding tube in general. And then the other big decision that you need to make is if there's a conflict between your healthcare power of attorney, which we spoke about in the first segment, and this advance directive, which one is going to override the other one? Do you want your healthcare agent to have control ultimately, or the advance directive? And these are what I'm calling the healthcare documents of your estate plan. They are necessary for every single person to have.